Welcome everybody to a brand new episode, Don's Discount Gaming Special in-studio edition. Today is a good day. It's a very good day. I am excited because we have an in-studio guest. Yes, Eddie Izquierda, my good friend, okay, and also gracing us here in the studio, living legend. Maybe you've seen this guy online in one of the viral videos he's been in, people capturing him in action. Maybe you've come across him haunting one of your local arcades. This guy is truly spectacular. Before I talk about what I love so much about what you do, why don't you introduce yourself, Eddie, and explain what you do?
As he said, my name is Eddie Izquierda. I've been playing Time Crisis, House of the Dead, a little bit of Virtual Cop for like all my life, but I've been, performing like dual wielding, all that stuff for at least 7 or 8 years. I really like playing these games. I used to be a competition, kind of a competition shooter, like speed shooting, real firearms. So yeah.
Yeah, the authenticity. It's interesting you mentioned that you have real world experience, and we'll get into that because I'm very curious because the authenticity in Eddie's performance, you're going to be seeing some B-roll here today on the show. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely captivating. The first time I saw you in action, okay, I was at a local arcade here, Player One, North Hollywood. This is a fabulous arcade, barcade we have here in Los Angeles, and I had the reaction that many people have when they spot Eddie in action. You go, what the heck am I seeing here? Okay, this is a guy in front of Time Crisis 2, dual wielding Player 1 and Player 2, flawless decimation of all the enemies, but not just that, but full character with choreography, moves. The expression on your face is like, I'm saying, did I just step into an action movie? Am I seeing the world's greatest light gun player? What is happening? A little bit of everything. It's just a remarkable thing to see, and I was captivated. We met each other, and we got involved a couple years ago.
Yes.
One of my favorite videos, Don's Discount Gaming, End of Days Deals. If you haven't seen this thing, watch it. If you have, watch it again. I'm very proud of this. Grateful to you. We ended up working together, getting this thing made, and it turned out fabulous. So Player One Arcade, like almost every weekend I go in, this guy's there Friday and Saturday nights putting on a show, and a various size crowd gathered around at any given point recording you.
So if you ever see me play there, just, watched and come up to me and whenever I during a cutscene or anything, you can talk to me or after the game. That'll be great.
After the game.
Yeah,
after the game. Yeah. Don't know distractions right now.
But if you want to record me playing, just go ahead and do it. People come up and ask me can I record? I like that you're asking.
Yeah.
But I'm also playing at the same time, so
well, it's an interesting thing, and I'm glad to hear people ask because I'd assume a lot don't ask, and it's an odd thing because someone like Eddie is doing something, and this is essentially performance art, and so you wouldn't just go up to someone painting a picture and start recording their art. So it's a little bit of a thing where I think there is something there where you want to ask permission. I asked you permission before I started recording anything because I feel like it's the right thing to do, but because you can't blame anyone for they see something they're amazed with, they want to record it. Anyway, this guy's here all the time now. Again, thank goodness the arcades are back open, but for a while, we did the episode, everything was looking hunky-dory, and then this pandemic thing happened. The arcades shut down. We're so lucky here in Los Angeles. We have several arcades, barcades. Boy, it's wonderful how they came back here in the West. But suddenly everything shut down, Eddie. And this is a guy you just heard goes every weekend to play, to master his craft. And suddenly you can't go anywhere. How did you make it through the pandemic? What did you occupy with your time, your training?
Yeah, so the thing is, I only practice playing these games in the arcade. So
it's the only way you can, right?
I mean, at home, I have a PS2. I do have Time Crisis 3, but I never played it for a long time. During the pandemic, I didn't really train that much for light gun or anything like that. Because at home, I do play a lot on the PC. I play a lot of shooting games there too, like first-person shooters. So Escape from Tarkov. I'm not that great in those games in Time Crisis. People see me as a master in other shooting games or FPSs with mouse and keyboard. I'm I'm okay.
But that's the thing to understand, that you're seeing a lot of this, though, is the choreography, too. The physical interaction with this game is a lot different than sitting there with your mouse and keyboard, and I figure you got to keep your skills honed. So when you returned, when things finally opened up again, was there an adjustment period for you to get back into form like an athlete would or anything? Bit. Or did it pretty much snap right back?
It took me like 1 or 2 games to
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, because I've been doing it for years, and like I mentally memorize it, but also my physically I just remember.
Yeah.
I just I'll just go through my motions, my muscle memory, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, it's not that hard, that too much. Like, there are maybe some, it probably take me like, let's say a year or 2 for me to like need to retrain for another game again, for like not playing at all. Yeah, but if it's a Time Crisis game, it's pretty easy to me to get back in.
Because that's the thing that's incredible about it. I mean, Eddie's going through this thing, and it's a flawless performance. I mean, I don't notice the mistakes. He noticed some of the mistakes. I'm a lot of times at the arcade watching him, and Eddie go, you'll say something, I kind of messed up on that. And I say, where did you mess up? I didn't see it. But it's like unbelievable, because not is it only like essentially a perfect run on the game, and I don't know if you're taking any damage on some of these runs.
I do.
You take some damage.
I don't mind, like...
But it's essentially a 1 credit run through, right?
That's the important thing. I have to do 1 credit per side, so...
Whole game!
Yeah. Like, if...
oh my god, it's so amazing. I get goosebumps thinking about it. I mean, the arcade player's dream, every time you go in an arcade, the dream, you want to get as far as you can in a credit.
Yeah, so, like, what I want to make sure that I do, like, I try to play both machines in 1 credit. If one side like dies, I continue with the other,
Okay.
Yeah, and it feels like, my partner died, so I had to move on.
Okay.
But,
I like that.
My partner's down.
Wait a second, you're playing as 2 people at once? Is that in your mind?
That's how I feel like,
Dude, that's even more epic. Twin brothers or something.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 2 people at the same time. So like,
I never knew that. So that's actually how you're role playing.
Yeah, I think I'm like, I divide myself into like 2 other people, and like,
dude,
I try to coordinate with them. Yeah, and
this is getting cooler and cooler.
I kind of wish I did have a second person with me sometimes.
Someone to keep up. I wish not gonna be so easy to find.
I really wish I had a partner to help me, like, to actually play with.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Have you ever come across anyone that's even in your ballpark close?
At least like 1, maybe 2. In player 1, in Time Crisis 2, for like the dual like high score screen, I do have a partner for that. His name is Jason. I met him there. We have the top score. Everything else below that for duo is me and maybe 1 other person. But that's because someone else just joined in, and like I pretty much I did most of the work. Yeah.
Now you've seen him play. Does he do any other choreography, or is it just not? He pretty much straightforward.
He's kind of straightforward. Yeah, he dual wielded once, but he even borrowed my holsters to see how it felt like. Yeah.
That's the other thing. Eddie just mentioned his holsters. One of the things I noticed right away, sick as hell, were these custom made? He has holsters on his body that he's putting these guns, so he's not using the machine, and he's holstering them between scenes. I mean, it's like the most awesome thing to watch. Where did these holsters come from?
They're not custom made at all.
Okay.
Yeah, they're actually generic holsters. Really.
They're generic holsters, but you've got the holsters on your body, and you're using those as this physical prop. You bring in these physical props sometimes.
Yeah, like I tried the holsters that I use. It's kind of hard for me to find holsters that fit these guns.
The guns are bulky. The Time Crisis, they're known for that clack, 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 right?
Yeah. And that one is like, it's kind of like the middle ground of like bulkiness. The really annoying ones that are really big are the Sega, like House of Dead 2. Or like House of Dead 4 is just a submachine gun, and like I had a holster for like all of those games, and like I lost that one in Vegas.
Oh no!
No, I was like, oh.
What arcade in Vegas were you playing at?
Oh, so
where was it?
Oh, so I was actually going through the casinos, like that's where I lost him. But where I was playing, I was at the Nerd on Fremont.
I gotta check this out.
They have Time Crisis 4 there, which is cool.
Okay,
I like that.
Tell me a little bit about what was your first interaction with this game? What first attracted you to this series?
So yeah, it was Time Crisis 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in Vegas. I was like 5, maybe?
Wow.
Yeah, I was 5.
Nice.
I think I was a kid. I was like,
I love it.
I don't know. I think I was with my cousins or my dad. It's blurry, but I remember seeing that machine, and like I was trying to play, but I don't think I had quarters yet or coins yet. Some like stranger like puts in a coin, or like He helped me out, so he put in money in for me to play.
Look what you started out there, unknown stranger somewhere in the world.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Gosh,
like,
that's sick. The origins, okay.
Yeah, and like I started playing it. I mean, it was hard on me at first. A few years later, like when I was 7 or 8, I kind of can get to like the first level, something like that, first area.
Yeah.
Also, Time Crisis 2 came out around the same time too, so I was starting to play that more.
Yeah.
And like I was just like everyone else, like I don't know. I kind of knew what I did, but I wasn't really a mastery until like years later.
You liked this game, and so then any chance you got, you'd play it, and then eventually, I'm sure at some point there were arcades near your house that you were able to frequent often. Were you able to start going often?
I think I did.
Hone your skills.
Yeah, like there are a few around, or like in my area at the time. Also, where I went to school, in I guess it's West Hollywood, called Family Arcade. I used to go there. I'd play there when I was a kid. Especially with my friends. Usually after school, I had some free time and I'd go to the arcade there, the Family Arcade.
Cool.
There was the Family Arcade, and right next to it was the College Arcade. And the College Arcade was gone after I graduated from IHM, Immaculate Heart. And then like usually the malls used to
That was my thing.
Yeah.
I had a mall arcade 5-minute walk for me growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
I was obsessed. I'd walk over there and it was like my wonderland. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that actually. Growing up now, from the time you're a kid and through your teens, what was your arcade experience? I assume you're frequenting arcades from a young age. It sounds like Vegas you used to go.
Vegas, like even like 10 or 11, and like my parents wanted me to ask, what do we want to do for my birthday?
Yeah.
And like I wanted to go to Vegas.
Yeah. Nice.
My mom's like, okay, because my mom plays a lot of the slot machines. She still does.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, too much.
Yeah.
I play too.
I love indulging a little bit.
Yeah, so like usually my dad would take me, sometimes my mom too would take me to the arcade. We would go there for the weekend and play, at the MGM, Treasure Island.
Oh yeah.
I missed that arcade. That's awesome.
Treasure Island used to be an awesome arcade.
That used to be an awesome arcade in LA. I would go to the Eagle Mall. Then I used to play at in Little Tokyo. There's still a few arcades there. There's like 2 at least. But the one I used to go to a lot was the Japan Arcade in the Little Tokyo Mall. Yeah, and I think that's one of the first times like anyone like recorded me, and I missed playing there too. The thing is, they closed down in 2014. So after that one closed, there was an arcade upstairs called X Lane that I used to play there a lot because they had Time Crisis 5 there till like my 20s and stuff. That's where I started playing like dual wielding and like mastering it. I'm not. I don't like calling myself a master, but I guess I'm mastering.
Well,
it.
You're humble, because it's quite impressive. It is a mastery for sure. You start playing Time Crisis. You're getting better and better. When do you step into the now I'm going to do the dual wielding thing? Okay, now I'm gonna actually bring this character stuff into it because it's a whole persona you kind of take on, just like any actor in a film. Anything you see, you're like, wow, this is a complete embodiment of this thing, which is beautiful to see. So like, tell me a little bit about how that sort of evolved.
Like I used to shoot real guns too with my dad.
Tell us about that. Sure.
Yeah, sure. My dad's been into firearms his whole entire life. I think he fired his first firearm when he was 7. That was by accident. He found it at home. Don't do that, by the way. Please,
gosh,
God.
You got lucky.
That was in the Philippines, so that was a long time ago. Yeah. So he made sure that my curiosity was like sated. So he showed me his guns too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He let me hold them. Obviously, they were empty.
Good though. Early on, this is important. Training someone, the power of a gun, responsibility, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He taught me how to like shoot when I was like 15, 16, something like that. And then like when I was like my 23, something like that.
Okay.
My dad asked me if I wanted to shoot with him. So we go to the shooting range where they do competition shooting, and I was basically doing like level 1, like standard competition shooting. There's pressure, but it's like you're not doing it for like prize money or anything like that. You're just doing it for the training.
Okay.
As I started shooting more, I wanted more practice, so I started going to the arcade.
Awesome.
I started using one gun at first. That's the thing. If anyone wants to try doing this in the arcade, playing, trying to finish the game without dying, that's what I think of.
Seeing you do the 2 guns boggles the mind. It is so impressive. And with this, how smoothly you do it, you make it look so easy, but it's not.
It's a lot of training, a lot of playing it over and over again.
So you were kind of just mastered with one gun, and then you just said, I'm bored, I want to try something new? Is that basically...
Yeah, like... because I noticed like usually if someone tried to join in, they would like they'd play until the end, but they had to spend a lot of money, or they'd give up right away because it's hard for them.
That's a funny partner. That's almost like a comedy duo, right? Super excellent marksman with the goofball.
Like I don't know.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah, like it kind of worries me when someone wants to join. Like, can I join you, please? And, like they're really so excited, and they ask me like, how do I reload?
Yeah, you're like,
that's
what I get into here.
Oh no!
This is a great buddy comedy cop setup, but it'd be a funny thing to record sometimes, actually.
But yeah, like it's kind of like, okay, there's not really anyone else that really matches me, so I guess I'll just do it myself. I'll dual wield it. I'm right hand dominant, so using my left hand at first was a little awkward, but like practice. I kept practicing over and over again. I started getting good at it, and then like people started to like watch more, and like it started to turn into a performance instead. I don't usually play like Time Crisis or House of the Dead or Virtual Cop like for training that much anymore. I'll probably do it for like if I'm using one handgun. I'll practice like the reloading, putting my hands up for like scenarios, because that's what you do in those competition speed shooting.
So that's where a lot of your motions are coming in, right? Like do something. I noticed you have all this authentic stuff, and this is what it really is. Tell me a little bit about that. I've noticed you do that.
My hands up. Yeah, that's like the surrender pose. Some stages like you're required to do it. I used to see my dad do it all the time when I was a kid, like when I was 5.
Tell me about this. Where would you see him do this?
Of course, in front of a mirror.
I love this. So what would he be doing? Practicing?
So, he practiced the surrender pose, and then he would draw and shoot. He'd just mime it. He wouldn't have a gun in his holster, and if it was empty anyway. So
he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for years too.
Yes.
A lot
so
more.
That's so cool
Real
though,
shooting.
because some of what you saw your pops doing, you sort of incorporated into the persona. Some of the real world training you've had, you've incorporated into this act, this performance.
So
it adds so much credibility to it when you're watching it, because that's the thing that just sells the whole thing. You go like, it takes it over the top. The way it blends the reality of like you interacting with this game, the story that's happening with the game, the look on your face as you're reacting to the lines being delivered or the action of the opponent, player character. It's like, it is such an awesome thing to witness. So you brought in all that kind of stuff into your performance, and that's when you started doing after you're done saying, well, I don't need to use this for training anymore. That's when you started developing the choreography.
Because it's just a game. This is a video game.
So was there anything that influenced this performance? Some of it from any movies you used to watch?
Most of the movies that people reference, like when they see my videos online, they think like John Wick. They see like a little bit of Equilibrium. Like Matrix, obviously.
Oh, sure.
People see that, and like mostly it's really just from all the training I did like in the competition like speed shooting. That's what really influenced me. That's why I practiced my drawing, my trigger discipline, stuff like that, and then it goes towards my performance.
It comes through so strongly. It makes it so believable, and you just get lost. As a viewer, you get lost in the fantasy of the whole thing. I absolutely love the way you just blend the reality of the game with the reality of the real world and the interaction with it. It's interesting watching you perform over the course of a night. It can be anywhere from a large crowd to kind of some of them disperse and play. Some of them are there the whole time. Are you getting nervous? Are you aware of the people watching? Does it become high pressure if suddenly you're like, whoa, I've got a huge crowd? Or is that sort of you're just doing your thing, you're so focused that doesn't enter into it?
I don't know if I feel that nervous anymore. Actually, when I see a crowd, that gets excited. That gets me more excited.
I love that.
Yeah, like, okay, maybe I'm nervous a little if I try to do like, if I try to spin the gun a little, because it's hard to do. Because
some of these motions.
Like, it's kind of hard to do because there's a wire underneath the gun, and that's where my nervousness comes in. Like, when I try to toss the gun in there and try to catch it, like, sometimes I would fail. Having a crowd would actually helps me more.
I love that.
Yeah, it gets me more excited. It helps me, like, perform better. Like, I try to add more flair to the performance.
How rehearsed is this from moment to moment? If you could describe it a little bit mentally, internally, what kind of state of mind are you in? I mean, I imagine it could be anything from an actor, like literally going moment by moment for the script, to all the way to this sort of out-of-body experience where you're almost subconsciously doing it all. Where in between those two extremes are you mentally when you're performing?
I have no idea what's happening.
You don't know. So it is kind of like an out-of-body experience.
It is,
That's how they've described top-level athletes, top-level musicians, Eddie, that's what they describe becomes an out-of-body thing.
Usually just simple thoughts like, make sure you dodge this. Make sure you take out this red enemy first.
Wow.
Dodge. Keep dodging.
Yeah.
If something's important, I'll probably shout it out. Literally.
I love when you shout out something.
Like if I'm at like 1 life each, I'll shout like cause last stand, cause
I love it.
It's embarrassing because I played Modern Warfare 2 when I was a teenager, and like one of the perks is last stand, where you when you like take enough damage, you pull out your pistol and you take out the enemy and like you die. Final stand is also the death perk from the other game, where you if you take out the enemy, you actually can get back up, and that's what it feels like when I'm like when I'm at 1 health each, and like I gotta focus, I gotta keep fighting, and like I don't want to die here. So
I love that though, because you do that, and it's like the belief. Yeah. You watch Eddie's performance, and there's a belief in his head of this is really happening in this game right now. And I love that. I've always loved that about games. I love when someone's playing and they're believing 100% in the thing. And then with your performance, you're broadcasting that out to the space around you. So you're getting everyone in to that same state of mind, and it's lovely.
Yeah, especially when the crowd's like yelling too, like, oh my God. And they're so, and like, I'm yelling too. I'm trying my best as I can to stay alive and like finish the game.
High pressure.
This whole like gameplay is like, especially doing 1 credit thing. It is a huge gamble.
People are like a couple feet away from you, judging your performance, and you're doing 1 credit, man. It's like, come on, it doesn't get more intense than that.
Yeah, and I just like, I'm just gotta make sure that no one literally goes behind me
and bonk them.
Like, oh my God. I mean, I love it.
Happen once in a while.
Yeah, once in a half. Yeah, like one time, like my holster got caught in some lady's like purse because my string was loose. So like I was being dragged away. Oh God. Like, hold on, let's untie this while I'm playing like Virtual Cop 2. Like, oh my God, I'm still shooting, trying to survive, and then like trying to untangle my holster.
Is Time Crisis the perfect performance game for what you're doing, or do some of these others work as well?
I think Time Crisis is pretty good, but performance-wise, the problem is the pedal part.
That makes it really hard.
I can't move around as much. You have to just press the pedal in order to shoot, but I can't move because I barely can move because I have 1 leg free. So I can just lean left and right. Time Crisis 5, there are moments where I can move around. House of the Dead and like Virtual Cop, I don't have a pedal, so I can actually move around. I can do sprints, moving left and right. Some of the House of the 2 bosses or House of the 1. These bosses are mobile, so it's kind of like helpful for me to move around, to move with them. It's really fun in my head too. So it's like, and it's really fun for everyone else to watch.
Tell me a little bit now, Eddie. You do some bigger events though. You're not just been the arcade. You love Anime Expo. Is that right? And you've had some good experiences at this in the past.
When I first went to Anime Expo, I was like 15. I wasn't shooting that well back then. So that's how I started cosplaying. I bought my first tactical vest there in Anime Expo. Every year I started going to Anime Expo, and like every year I started upgrading my cosplay gear. I had a lot of airsoft guns, a lot of BB guns that were crap, that were like broken down already. I just had to take out the parts, repaint them, and they were like, all right, pop weapons, they're perfect. After a while, like I started doing like characters. I was doing Glenn from The Walking Dead, not his standard ball cap, but his riot gear version.
Oh, sick.
So I have riot gear, the riot helmet, and then I have a riot shield. And it was super useful in Anime Expo because there's a lot of people.
Part the crowd.
I was using the shield to get people.
That like, place is a pack.
Yeah, I was like going to, if I wanted to go to the booth and exhibit all, I'll just use the riot shield in front of me. People were like, all right. And people would fall behind me to get to other booths. Like,
that's a good hack. Sure. Yeah, that's a good hack for Anime Expo. Actually, look at the guy with the riot shield.
Yeah. Then I started doing more Resident Evil stuff.
Michael Huber, are you listening out there? Michael Huber, massive Resident Evil fan. Who do you do in Resident Evil?
Leon S. Kennedy, Resident Evil 2 Remake. I love his standard police outfit. All this stuff is real world. You just gotta know what the name is, find out. The vest I bought, it looks pretty much the same. I had to modify it a little. I use like Velcro tape to make sure everything's all correct and stuff. And then like I bought like custom parts from Etsy. So it was like the RPD stuff, Raccoon City Police patches. You know, I put them on my shirt. I did Leon. I also did Hunk as well.
Hunk. Oh
yeah.
My gosh. I saw you doing Hunk at the arcade up there.
Yeah.
With the gas
mask. Yeah.
Sick as hell. When you were playing, I said, how in the heck's Eddie playing with that gas mask on? You were hot under there. No? I mean, how the heck?
Not really.
No? Yeah, and those lenses don't get fogged up, do they?
They do sometimes, yeah. They're also red, so
the red lenses. It was sick as hell.
It was like, oh shit, this is red. The bullets are red.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, I can barely tell.
Oh my god.
And so it's
massive handicap.
The mask is actually very comfortable. I really like wearing it. It's just hard to speak through it. That's all it is. Mumble. That's all it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think of that. Though.
I really want to wear the full costume, but the problem is, it's too tactical.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, I mean, I can do it in an anime expo. That's fine because everyone's wearing weird stuff. So
wow, performing. It's a little bit of a difference.
It is, and that's why I really want to practice doing it in cosplay and performance at the same time.
And now at Anime Expo, at these larger conventions, have you actually been able to perform on a Time Crisis machine? I know sometimes they have gaming lounges or something like that.
There was once where I went viral in my riot gear playing House of the Dead 2. Like a day after Anime Expo 2018, like my friends told me, "Yo, you're trending on Reddit." Playing House of the Dead 2 in my riot gear. Without my helmet though, my riot shield's on the side.
Okay.
I was like doing that no look shot.
I love when you do that.
I did that because I was frustrated because the gun wasn't that accurate, and it was hard for me to save like NPCs. Like I try to save everyone in those games no matter what. If there's hostages, I really try to save.
Look for 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Nobody dies. I try to do it, but it gets to me.
Yeah, you feel that.
I feel like I could have saved them.
Oh wow!
It hurts. Like
that's the thing. The performance. You see it in your face. You see the love, the passion coming through, the belief in it, and that's what just takes it to another level, man. I'm telling you.
I feel like a very deep. Like if somebody if an hostage dies and it's my fault. Wow. I feel like it's all my fault. I could have done something. I should have been better than that. Especially if I'm the one who shot him. Like, oh god, yeah. That's even worse. I just like stand there for a second. Sometimes I don't even fight back until like the zombie's like right there.
Oh my god.
And I easily take him out. And I think to myself like, I could have done that so much earlier. I could save myself, but not them. Like, what's wrong with me?
You see this emotion as you're performing. It comes out and it comes across, and it just makes you feel so much while watching it. It really takes it to another level. It's unbelievable. Look at Eddie up, okay? See what's going on. You're going to be blown away. Watch our episode of Discount Gaming. End of days deals. Lovely episode. We're going to do another one together for sure. Get out to your local arcades and barcades. I mean, how beautiful is this? A guy like Eddie is making a killing. The ultimate Don's Discount Gaming dream. Going in there with 1 credit and wiping the floor with these games. Are you kidding me? I love it, dude.
And please come talk to me if you're there.
Don't be intimidated, because it can be intimidating.
Yeah.
When you see him in character, you don't want to mess with this guy.
Yeah,
but he's nice.
Yeah, when I'm playing, I'm like blue steel and like super serious.
Serious business.
Yeah, but when I'm like sitting down tired, that's the best time.
Eddie, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming down here. Thank you for doing what you do, because it is truly beautiful. It's a wonderful thing to see. You're putting this excellent energy out into the world every time you do one of these performances, and you bring joy to people, and it's really a lovely thing.
It makes me happy too.
It's so nice to hear a little bit more about the background and how you got to where you're at now with it. And I can't wait to go in the arcade next time and see you laying down hot lead, firing it out.
Yeah, I didn't expect people to even care. I mean, I don't do it for fame or anything. I mean, it's nice to have like people come up and like say hi, and then my family knows now.
I want you to get famous. I hope one day that they have a Time Crisis on a stage, Dodger Stadium, and a sold-out crowd.
Oh my god, that'll be hilarious.
Perform. That's what I would. One day there might be a venue like that for this kind of stuff, because it truly is impressive. I mean, it's a world-class thing to do. So, Eddie, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
thank you for talking to me, Eddie.
Thank you so much.
Thoughts and your background and everything.
Thank you for everyone.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.